Thank you. I'd like to welcome everyone to the March 7th special meeting of the Putnam County Legislature. Please stand as we recognize the colors as the Putnam County Sheriff's Department Color Guard and the Civil Air Patrol present the colors.
Guard. Color guard, part-time mark. Color guard, halt. Color guard, present, cut.
Thank you. At this time, I would like to call on Major Elena McDermott from the Civil Air Patrol to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance in the memory of her husband, Colonel Robert McDermott of the New York Guard.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to call on Legislator Sullivan to lead us in the legislative prayer.
We meet to serve our community, to use our resources wisely and well, to represent all members of our community fairly, to make decisions that promote the common good. We recognize our responsibility to the past and the future, and the rights and the needs of both individuals and community. As trusted servants, we seek blessings on our deliberations and our efforts here today. May we act wisely and well. Amen.
Thank you. Please remain standing as we retire the colors.
Color guard, order, arms. Color guard, dismiss.
Thank you. If everybody could have a seat, we appreciate it. At this time, I would like to call on the clerk of the legislature for the roll call.
District 1, Legislator Montgomery. District 2, Legislator Goldman. District 3, Legislator Adnizio.
Present.
District 4, Legislator Nasarino.
Present.
District 5, Legislator Albano.
Present.
District 6, Legislator Yonke.
Present.
District 8, Legislator Sage.
Present.
District 9, Legislator Sullivan.
Present.
District 7, Chairman Castellano.
Present. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to introduce Joseph DiMarzo, Deputy Commissioner of Social Services, Mental Health, and the Youth Bureau, to begin the presentation of the State of the County Address.
Thank you, Chairman, Legislature. Good evening and welcome to the 2019 State of the County. Before I introduce our county executive, I'd like to recognize some of our dignitaries who are here this evening with us. Please hold your applause in the effort of saving time. Senator Peter Harcum, Assemblyman Kevin Byrne, our Sheriff Robert Langley, our District Attorney Bob Tendy, County Clerk Mike Bartolotti, Supervisor from the Town of Carmel Ken Schmidt, the Mayor of Nelsonville Bill O'Neill, Councilwoman Jackie Anavi from Putnam Valley, Councilman John Lupinacci, the Town of Carmel, Councilman Eric Larka from the Town of Southeast, Councilman John Lord, Town of Southeast, Councilman Sean Rogan, Town of Patterson, Highway Superintendent Southeast Michael Bruin, Highway Superintendent Patterson, Russell Goff, Superintendent Town of Carmel Mike Simone, the Chairman of the Republican Party Anthony Scanapico, the chairman of the Republican Party for the town of Phillipstown, Kevin McConville, the chairman of the Conservative Party, James Maxwell, chairman of the Southeast Conservative Party, John O'Connor, the chairwoman from Patterson, Dawn Dimpiero, the commissioner, Democratic Board of Elections, Kathy Croft. With us this evening is the former deputy county executive and the Carmeltown supervisor, Frank Del Campo, former legislator and chairwoman of the war on the task force of our One Army, Barbara Scucciamaro, former legislator Dan Birmingham, former legislator Vince Tamagna, representing the governor, Dylan Myoshi, representing New York State Controller's Office, Caitlin Israelski. And I'd like to have a special shout out to our unions. The president of the CSEA is here this evening, Janet Canaday, as well as the president of the PBA and Puma members, Dan Huntsberger. So please, let's give them a round warm of applause. At this time, it's my pleasure and honor to introduce our county executive, Mary Ellen Odell.
Are we mic'd up? Are we good? Okay. Thank you, Deputy Commissioner of everything, Joe DiMarzo. Sometimes as you're going through these, I'm going to miss some people that I want to acknowledge. So while it's fresh in my mind, I want to just give a special shout out to the team that helped me tonight design, develop the concept of the 2019 State of the County. And I think you'll see that there's a little bit of something for everyone. I apologize ahead of time if I was remiss and left something out, but we really do try to keep this under 2 hours and 42 minutes. And so in the spirit of that, I want to thank Mr. Tom Lannon, Director of IT, who's been with me now. This is our 8th year. Again, my dear friend and a friend to all of us in the community for mental health and drug abuse in our youth, Joe DiMarzo. Bill Carlin, our Commissioner of Finance, Jennifer Bumgarner, our County Attorney, and Paul Eldridge, former County Executive, Director of Personnel, all of these guys. They're just part of just such a wonderful team. To my staff in the Executive Office, we're rolling without a Deputy County Executive for the second full year. It's challenging. I've put a lot on our county department heads to get the jobs done that we have designed in our Putnam playbook, and I want to thank all of them. Most importantly, of course, all of the employees who really, they're the meat of the team, and without you guys, this county would not be the great, wonderful county that it is, that we're so blessed to call home. I welcome and I thank the chairman of the legislature and the legislative body for your cooperation in allowing us to host tonight's 2019 State of the County, the 8th State of the County that I'm honored to deliver. I feel a little bit like Tom Brady right now. You know, I know everybody's waiting for me to fumble the ball or lose the game, but it's not going to happen. And I welcome Legislator Nancy Montgomery from Phillipstown. Welcome. Good to hear the names of so many of our colleagues on the local level that are here tonight. While we're here to hear about the state of Putnam County, it's important to note that we are one team and our local municipal leaders are a big part of the services that we deliver here. And our Senator Harcum, there you are, welcome to our State of the County. And where is Senator Serino, Jackie Anabi, you'll send our wishes also. Assemblywoman Galiff and Assemblyman Kevin Byrne also make up that team from New York State that we work so closely with. And Dylan, thank you. Always, Dylan is wonderful. Dylan Mygoshi is our go-to guy in Albany. Before we get into the address, I want to say something about the state of the county tonight. We want to address a couple of issues that are pressing, and that's really what this evening is all about. And I think that everyone here can agree that addiction, substance abuse, and the opioid crisis is something that we all are facing in some way, shape, or form, whether it's as an elected official, a friend, a parent, a grandparent, a peer, a colleague, we're facing it. I just spent about 5 days in Washington, D.C. with my colleagues in government across the nation. And I can tell you, honestly, the number one concern, whether they're from Louisiana, Colorado, Minnesota, Vermont, Maryland, the number one topic is the opioid crisis, substance abuse and addiction, mental health, and our veterans. And that's what we have in common as a nation and as an Americans. And everything you'll see tonight here, we could probably play this in New Jersey, Mississippi, Arkansas, Alabama. We could play it anywhere. What we're dealing with, Senator, Assemblyman, what we're dealing with here, we would hope that you will take back to the governor, Dylan, which is I know why you're here, as we describe to you our concerns and our thoughts and our feelings about the issues that you, as elected officials, are facing. I know you have 30 days to craft a budget that will impact all of us in New York. But particularly here in Putnam County, there's a lot that's tied into this budget that will affect each and every one of us in this county. So with that, let's roll. This year, we made a decision to honor and to talk about the importance of the health providers in this county. Because everyone thinks that a health provider is a nurse. How many nurses do we have here? Physicians, lab techs, aides, x-ray technicians, radiologists. Those are the people that you think about that are providing health to you. But really, I wanted everyone to understand that when it comes to the health providers in this county, it really crosses all kinds of professions. You have our volunteer substance abuse counselors, Susan and Steve Salamone are here. They're dealing with that emotional health, mental health, as well as the physical health. You have our social workers. You have our addiction, as I mentioned, addiction counselors. You have librarians now that are being trained to administer Narcan. They've now become healthcare providers. So, you know, our health department is accredited in New York State, a tremendous, tremendous accomplishment. We have a tremendous team in our health department. Where's our health department staff? Oh, and just so happens, Barbara Lardy, this is your surprise retirement party, just so you know. We wanted to She's the first one with her hands up. I knew I could count on you. Our health department works very, very hard in making sure that health and wellness in this county is at the superior rating it is. But it's not just about physical health, it's about mental health, it's about emotional health. And all of these individuals in their professional capacity all lend something to the people of Putnam County when it comes to wellness. So we thought this year, 2019, would be that year that we would honor and recognize all of your works. Patrice, I see you right there. I see you right there in that red suit. Arms Acres, how important it is that we have the facilities that are there to counsel and treat those who need the help the most. And it's all about responsibility. Responsibility takes all shapes. We have a responsibility for the stewardship of this county as leaders. Things like social and fiscal responsibility. The two things that I always remind all of us that are the most important as leaders. But responsibility is governed by our ability to respond. And respond we have. Look at our record. Our fiscal responsibility. We have consistently delivered a budget on time. We've always met a budget that meets the needs of the taxpayers. We have met the Albany imposed tax cap. We've reduced the long-term debt. We'll see that later on by 20-something percent. We have a very strong bond rating, AA2 Moody. We've eliminated the short-term debt completely. And we continue to manage and improve all of our infrastructure in this county. Our social responsibilities. We've enhanced the services at the Veteran Service Agency. The Tilly Foster Farm is now an educational institute as well as a destination. We have the pilot program, Putnam investing in the leaders of tomorrow. We've enhanced school safety with our school resource officers and special police officers. The Putnam County Golf Course, where you're all right now, is a destination. All of these are quality of life initiatives, and there are so many more. And then, of course, our seniors, what we've been able to do for our seniors and will continue to do for our seniors in enhancing their services. That social responsibility leads us to the discussion tonight of the One Army on the war on addiction, something the administration and the legislature are very proud of. So why did we call for an army? And here are some of the statistics, and they're staggering and they're sad. 71 deaths in 4 years of overdoses. And in fact, the first coroner case in our county occurred in the early mornings, the first hours of 2019. There was an overdose of a young Putnam County resident. What's that cost to the taxpayers? What's the cost to the community? And the obvious, what's the cost to our families? I thought this was an interesting statistic that I wanted to share with all of you. Motor vehicle deaths. We've been struggling with DWI for years, trying to reduce those numbers. And we've done a good job. And while we've been working on that, look at what's gone on with the overdose deaths. Look at those numbers. But we're not unique. On January 14th, 2019, CNN reported, and I don't think this is fake news, by the way, odds of dying from accidental opioid overdose in the United States surpasses those of dying in a car accident. Imagine that. Hoping won't help someone struggling with addiction. And as parents and friends, as peers, at times you'll hear yourself say, oh, I hope that's not true. I really hope it's not true. I hope my kid makes better decisions. I hope my friend just isn't feeling well. I hope that there's something else wrong, that he's not or she's not caught up in a substance abuse. But working together, we can make a difference. And we do work together. We put out a message, and the recruits answered the call. This is the team. Many of you are here right now. Legislature's here. I'm here. NAMI, if anyone here is from NAMI, I know that the Vet to Vet program is here, which I want to talk to our representatives from the state and the governor's office about. Our district attorney's here. He's done a terrific job. CTC, Cove Care, Arms Acres, Patrice, thank you. The Putnam County Treatment Court, Judge Reitz, what he's been able to do. The Walter Hoving Home, St. Christopher's Inn, Drug Crisis in Our Backyard, the Prevention Council of Putnam. These are the folks who've stepped up and volunteered for this battle. And our Army, we're making a difference. We are making a difference. This year alone, we've provided Narcan, which can reverse the effects of opioids in an emergency situation. From 2017 and 2018, we provided 676 kits of Narcan alone. We know it's just a Band-Aid, but we have focused on a starting point of this epidemic, and we did join the lawsuit against Big Pharma, which many of my colleagues across the nation have as well. With the support of the legislature, the Putnam County joined the lawsuit, holding the pharmaceutical companies accountable for what they've done for profit, what they've done for greed. The lawsuit seeks compensation for the unnecessary costs. You can't get the lives back, and you can't pay for the pain and the suffering. They can't do that. But we will make sure that they are held accountable. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. If there are any monetary awards, they will go directly back to the providers. Our district attorney, Mr. Bob Tendy. Through the HIDA grants, he's been working with the ODMapping Program, as many counties are in New York State and across the nation. It's a very important program. OD mapping is used as a tool to help law enforcement and treatment providers in identifying overdoses, both fatal and non-fatal. It will also help us in developing a system of care for people that have OD'd to reach out and attempt to engage them in treatment. You've got to get them right away. You've got to get them right away. In 2018, there were 151 overdose calls involving EMS. 80 were transported, 18 were fatal, 38 were non-fatal. We've got to get the 80 and the 38 before it happens again. For Putnam County, it's not about catch and punish, but about identify and assist. Putnam County established the One Army on the War on Addiction. Our chairwoman, former legislator Barbara Scucciamara, led the charge, along with many of the other stakeholders in this One Army on the War on Addiction. And they were able to establish the Tobacco 21, the T21 law in Putnam County, which will restrict the sale of tobacco and e-cigarette products to anyone under the age of 21. It's important. Superintendent Anthony DiCarlo here from the Mahopac School. I know we have Mahopac's trustee Mike Simone. Mike Simone should be here as well. We've been talking about this and talking about it, and I applaud the commission, the opioid task force, and the legislature on this bold step. We committed the resources, including funding, as necessary to directly combat the problem. We hired our drug treatment coordinator, Judge Reitz, and his team have done a terrific job. From 2012 to 2018, there have been 195 graduates from our nationally recognized drug treatment program. That's a great piece of fiscal relief for us. Not only are these individuals able to continue with their families and have a productive life, but it also saves the taxpayers, each individual, $60,000 a year to be incarcerated. And it's approximately a $2 million savings annually. We have provided medication drop boxes at numerous locations to safely dispose of unused and unneeded medications. Here are some of the areas and regions that you can comfortably bring your prescription medications that you're no longer using and have them deposited. The next medication take-back day will be at the Putnam Hospital Center on April the 27th. To date, we've collected over 3.5 tons of unneeded medication since 2010. Through Verdi technology, I think everyone should have found one of these packets on your chair. I don't know if you've had a chance to take a look at what this is, but this was a product that I found working with my colleagues in county government across the nation. It's called the Deterra Drug Activation System. All you have to do is take your unused prescription medication in this pouch, open it up, deposit it, add a half a cup of warm water, seal it, and it neutralizes. It's safe from accidental, Tom, can you just, thank you, safe from accidental or intentional use, getting it out of the medicine cabinet, safe for the environment, and safe to dispose. Now, just as a point of information, as you're all processing and thinking about ways we can expand on this, I just had this tonight for those of you to take it home individually. We will be asking doctors and dentists when they hand out prescriptions to consider. This packet's about $3. But it also comes in different sizes and containers. So you can dispose of larger drops or just the individual ones. I think our seniors would be the first ones that will take hold of this, right, Barb? Take hold of this and use it. So I encourage everyone to take a look at this product, Deterra, Drug Deactivation System. We continue to support vital education and prevention programs that show our youth and adult population the dangers of addiction. What you're seeing now are just some of our campaigns that we've used over the years to help encourage our youth and the adults about the perils of addiction. We have a new campaign. It's called the Pizza Box Sticker Campaign. 38 local pizzerias in our county are participating in this program. And there'll be little stickers on each pizza box going home. And the idea is to invoke that conversation that may not otherwise happen. So you start that Friday night conversation. And one of the labels says, do you know what T21 is? Why do you think Putnam just passed the T21 legislation? So it's little conversations like that that sometimes can, lead to more important conversations, more honest and open conversations. The plan continually changes, doesn't it? Just when you think you've got it almost beat. And now we have the legalization of adult recreational marijuana. That's our newest challenge. But our Army is up to the task. The legalization of adult recreation marijuana. Dr. Kevin Sabet, who's the president and founder of Smart Approaches to Marijuana, published an opinion piece at the top of this year and said, Governor Cuomo backs recreational marijuana legalization. But at what cost? The drug policy expert asks. Colorado, I think most of us who are versed on this subject, I know former Deputy County Executive Frank Del Campo is very plugged into this. In Colorado, where marijuana-related offenses have now surpassed other infractions, former Governor John Hickenlooper projected the state would rake in $118 million in pot taxes the first year of legalization. In reality, it only brought in around $67 million, well short of the promised windfall. But what about the cost to society? Never mind the revenue piece. What about the cost to society? According to a study commissioned by the Centennial Institute in Lakewood, Colorado, for every $1 gained in tax revenue, Coloradans spent approximately $4.50 to mitigate the effects of legalization. The effects of marijuana aren't limited to our pocketbooks. In Colorado, where pot sales began in 2014, 69% of pot users said they had driven while high at least once in the past year, and 27% said they drove stoned almost daily. Now look at this number. The number of fatal car accidents in Colorado increased by 40% from 2013 to 2015. And drivers in fatal accidents testing positive for pot rose by 145% from 2013 to 2016. Now, as I mentioned earlier, working very closely with the Carmel schools, I think Anthony DiCarlo from Superintendent's here at Carmel, Andy Irvin and I and Anthony have had numerous conversations. So here's just Putnam statistics of 12th grade students in Putnam. Showed that marijuana use is more common than daily cigarette use now. All those years we spent trying to get the kids not to smoke. Look at the decrease, all the good work that we've done to date on the cigarettes. And look at the uptick. It's steady, uptick, and that's before it's even legal. That's before it's even legal. Now vaping. I know Anthony, former legislator, and now superintendent of the Mahopec Schools, one of our larger districts, and I have had many frightening conversations. 34% of our 12th grade students are actively vaping, and we've been working closely to get in front of this. It's very scary. Dr. Sabet again goes on to discuss the false opinion that making drugs legal will eliminate the black market. We know the illicit market does not go away under legalization. In fact, it grows stronger. The situation is so bad, foreign cartels and criminal gangs are turning whole neighborhoods into pot-growing operations and even growing the drug on public lands. California, that's a good study. Take a look at California. Dr. Sabet also says Governor Cuomo is being led astray by big marijuana. And if they are successful, New Yorkers will have to pay the price. Big marijuana and its big tobacco and big alcohol investors don't care about tax revenues or social justice. They only care about profits. Former New York City Mayor Bloomberg says, this is the stupidest thing anybody has ever done. 72,000 Americans died of overdoses in 2017. The New York State Association of County Health Officials, we tout, we're so proud of our health department. We're so proud of our Commissioner of Health, Dr. Michael Neshawat, as he weighs in his leadership position in New York State. They've expressed serious concerns about the legalization of marijuana. And Dr. Neshawat says, we cannot be behind the curve on this. How many years passed before the public was warned about cigarettes? But by then, our youth had already been exposed, and we've been battling ever since. Cigarettes, for the most part, take their toll as you get older, but marijuana has an immediate impact on younger people because their brains are still developing. Science says the human brain is not fully developed until the age of 25. So what is our stance? Well, the state is naive to think that a law that limits sales to only those 21 and over won't have negative impacts on children. I think we can agree to that. So the question is, why don't we just opt out of the legalization? Well, the landscape is continually changing. Our senator will tell you that. Our assemblyman will tell you that. Who has the ability to opt out? 1 minute it's the counties, then it's the cities, and then it's the towns, and then it's back and forth and back and forth. I don't envy you guys. And then the tax revenue. If you opt out, you're not going to get any of the funding. Okay, but so if somebody buys in Westchester and comes to Putnam and we have to provide services, we're not going to get any of the money because we took a principled stand? And then we don't even know what the revenue is going to be. 1 minute it's 2%, next minute it's 4%, 1 minute the county's getting it, then the towns are getting it. But the one thing we know, who's going to pay? You're going to pay. I'm going to pay. We're all going to pay. The businesses are going to pay. The employees are going to pay. The taxpayers are going to pay. We're all going to pay. Two questions for the state as they consider this. At what cost is it beneficial to create a new addiction? And is the revenue stream worth it? Families are already struggling with vaping, cigarettes, and alcohol. Who loses? The families lose. We lose. Our families are losing. So what can we do? This is a state law, folks. It's not a county law. We're going to get stuck with the pain. You have 2 New York State legislators here in our company. Here's their contact numbers. Let them know how you feel. Professionally and polite, let them know how you feel, how we feel. And I invite you all that our CTC is hosting a conference with Dr. Sabet. It's the 5th annual prevention conference, the cost of implementing legalization of marijuana, health, safety, and social concerns. It's being held on Friday, April 5th, partnering again with the Putnam Hospital Center. And there's the date and times. Our Sheriff's Department, Sheriff Langley. Sheriff, where are you? There's our Sheriff, Sheriff Langley. Welcome. Sheriff Robert Langley and his staff, they remain committed to the war and building relationships with the community. Keeping the community safe begins by being part of a community, by working with local businesses, offering security assessments and advice, by meeting with our seniors, that's an important part of the mission, and believing in the value of community policing. Working with the community, they have already seen results. There's been a 25% of reportable crimes, a reduction of reportable crimes in Putnam County in 2017. We remain committed to our partnership with our local school districts to keep our children safe and informed. Working with the Putnam County Traffic Safety Committee, law enforcement agencies, and school transportations, we will be launching a task force to crack down on motorists that pass school buses with flashing red lights while picking up or discharging students. Has anybody seen this yet? It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing that people still don't understand about school safety and children in school buses. We currently deploy 9 school resource officers, or SROs, which are specially trained sheriff deputies, and 13 special patrol officers, or SPOs, to our schools. They not only help keep the school secure, but provide the students with information and education. And this is just another example of shared services. The Sheriff's Department, the Bureau of Emergency Services, our local police departments, and our volunteer first responders are always there for us, 24/7. Our 911 dispatch and Sheriff's Department are talking about a consolidation. The administration, along with the legislature, Sheriff Langley, and the Bureau of Emergency Services under Commissioner Kenny Clare have been working on a plan to increase efficiencies by consolidating the dispatch services. Whether it's day-to-day or during large incidents, communications is the key for our first responders. This year, we are working to increase the reliability of our radio communication system by installing a new microwave system and moving radio communications to a state-of-the-art trunking system. Our Emergency Operations Center and our Incident Command System, also known as ICS, was definitely put through the paces last year. We had Winter Storm Riley, Quinn, Toby. Then, not even before a half-year mark, we had the tornadoes of May 15th. Those are just 4 of the storms that ripped through Putnam County, and each time our ICS system was ready. As a matter of fact, our Emergency Operations Center was open for over almost 500 hours last year, and I applaud each and every one of them, our 911 dispatch centers, our law enforcement, our Bureau of Emergency Services, all of the first responders, the career and the volunteer. We could not do what we do without the volunteer first responders in this county. Talk about dedication to the health and safety of our residents. Do you know what's in your house? How many people have ant and wasp spray and paint cans and gasoline? You all have that? Okay, you're not going to raise your hand. You're right, because it's televised. You don't want anybody to know. Putnam County hazardous waste disposal events provide our residents with a safe and responsible way to dispose of items that cannot be disposed of through normal, or should not be disposed of, through normal garbage recycling collection. The Putnam County Department of Health conducts 2 events a year, which are staffed by our trained Department of Health employees. In 2018, we collected over 93,000 pounds of household hazardous waste from 452 residents, which was collected and safely disposed of. We have 2 more events scheduled for this year. And I'll tell you why this is so important. We found out how important it was last October 6th. Where's our team that worked there that day? Sean Rogan, Jane, where's Jane? Jane here? Health department team comes in and manages the situation. And it just so happens on this day, a gentleman comes in with a highly explosive material. By the way, not the first time. Our Department of Health staff immediately recognized the danger and instituted the safety procedures that are in place. And we would definitely have to recognize not only the Department of Health employees for their quick reaction, Commissioner Michael Neshawat and his team that I mentioned earlier, but the Bureau of Emergency Services, the Sheriff's Department, and the Westchester County Bomb Squad for their quick response. Keeping Putnam County healthy and safe is just one part of making Putnam County a success. We must also provide the opportunity to continue to succeed with our projects. Our administration, along with the legislature, the many departments that make Putnam County work to continue to drive the many projects that make Putnam County a success. Managing our infrastructure. These are some of the projects that we have completed last year. And these are the projects, some of the projects that are planned or in progress. Road paving projects, road paving projects. New York State DOT came in at Supervisor Schmidt and my urging to pave Route 6, and they're coming back to pave Route 6 from Willow Road into 301. So we were promised last fall they were coming. We're still waiting, Dylan. Glenida Avenue from Route 6 to 301 is scheduled for a repaving. So we can go from this, I don't know if you guys can see it, back to this. The roads that are safe and the roads that you pay for. That's what they should look like. Infrastructure, Putnam County, we maintain 117 miles of road, Paul Eldridge. Did you know that? 117 miles of county roads, with an agreement to clear over 56 miles of New York State roads during snow and ice events to assist our local municipalities with local roads and provide specialized equipment. What a team we have, local highway departments. Russ Goff is here from Patterson, Mike Bruin's here from Southeast, Mike Simone should be here somewhere from Carmel. Where's Mike? Oh, there he is. Watch your head. You're going to hit your head on that. You're going to hit your head on that. All working with Fred Penna, our Commissioner of Highway, our terrific Commissioner of Highway, and Deputy Commissioner John Tully. And I know Chris Ruthven's in the house, who runs all the crews in the snow and ice. And Chris does a great job with our facilities and our roads. Big job for you guys. Just think about when we're rolling over at 2 o'clock in the morning saying, oh my God, I have to shovel out my, walkway, driveway? These guys are out 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 24 hours. Some of our completed paving projects: Peekskill Hollow Road, Crane Road, Gage Road, West Shore Road, done. Done, done, done. Moving on to the Office for Senior Resources. We provide quality services to our senior population. We have one of the highest senior population counties in New York State. We provide nutrition programs, wellness and exercise classes, adult education, very important socialization, and referral assistance. And the renovations are nearing completion on our Carmel Friendship Center. We're expecting a June 2019 grand opening. And we have to give a special shout out and a thank you to the Knights of Columbus for hosting our seniors. Giving them full reign, as I said, except for the bar, which they're not happy about that. Full reign of the place, and we cannot thank you guys enough. Without you, I don't think this project would have happened. And the Friendship Center in Phillipstown opened its doors in December of 2018. And a big shout out and thank you to Senator Sue Serino and Assemblywoman Gala for working with us to obtain grants so that this project could be budgeted and could happen. And it is an absolute beautiful facility. Legislator Montgomery has been in touch with the seniors on the recreation programs, working with our director, Mike Cunningham, and his staff. Is our director, Mike Cunningham, here? Thank you, Mike, for all of your hard work in getting that done. Picking up where Pat Sheehy left off. Terrific job. Keeping our seniors mobile is a top priority. Sometimes it's hard to keep up with them, actually. Working with the RSV program, we're grateful to the volunteer drivers that willingly step up. Keeps it affordable. We maintain a fleet of 35 vehicles, and this year we are adding 7 new buses due to arrive in April. Yes! Finally. Keeping Putnam County safe, providing opportunities, and completing projects. These are just some of the many things we will continue to deliver, all while keeping Putnam County's financial future healthy. Our fiscal vision begins with a strong financial leadership and a team that's committed to Putnam County. Moody's, that's our report card. The fiscal state of Putnam County government is strong, according to the independent financial experts. Moody's doesn't just hand out that superior rating. We work hard delivering a fiscally conservative budget, managing our debt, and maintaining healthy reserves. Moody's determines the county rating based on a scorecard, which evaluates the following criteria: economic tax base, finances, your management, debt, and pensions. And I want to take a little bit of a closer look at each one of these. The economy and the tax base. We're working to improve our commercial tax base to lower the burden on homeowners. And these projects include the Alexandrian Distillery Project. We're proud that the Alexandrian Group has selected Putnam County as its home to its first United States distillery, expanding their international footprint. Big shout out to Supervisor Ken Schmidt. Kenny, thank you, and the Planning Board and the Zoning Board for welcoming this very, very important project. This is a game changer. Putnam County is on the international map. The Alexandrian Group will invest $40 million into the old Guidepost, also known as the Paladin Center campus in Carmel, creating a 120,000 square foot distillery. There will be a tasting room, there will be a conference room, and over 100 new jobs. The distillery will produce premium spirits for the U.S. market, including bourbon, gin, brandy, and vodka. We're working to improve our commercial tax base also in the Danbury-Brewster Sewer Project, providing an environmentally responsible resource for waste that will encourage commercial growth along Danbury, and we always have to thank Mayor Mark Boughton in Danbury for his assistance, his team in assisting this. Now, the next step here is the feasibility study that's given us enough information to allow us to release the RFP for the design. The design will allow us then to know what the cost will be. And the Mahopac Sewer Project. A Southern Route 6 corridor sewer project will allow for responsible commercial expansion development while providing jobs and improving our commercial base, notwithstanding cleaning up the environment. There are 3 plants along that corridor that are aging out that we could consider consolidating those 3 into the 1 plant. Working very closely with the town of Carmel, the county and the town of Carmel are continuing to work together and are awaiting the completion of the feasibility study, which we're expecting to see this spring. And Envision Brewster, a very exciting project called a TOD, Transit Oriented Development Project. The latest update on our TOD and Envision Brewster is that the land mitigation swap is currently awaiting approval from the New York City Water Board and the New York City Council. And that will advance the project to phase 2, and that should be completed no later than June. We are working very closely with Mayor de Blasio's office, as well as the Village of Trustees in Brewster and the Mayor of Brewster. It takes a team to focus on responsible economic development, and here in Putnam, we've got a really good team. We've got the Putnam County Economic Development Corporation. Chairman Rich Weiss is here with us tonight. Rich, thank you. He works very closely with Megan Taylor. As some of you may recall, Megan worked with us in Putnam County. She's now the VP of the Regional Director of the Mid-Hudson Valley at the Empire State Development Corporation. We also have Mr. Bill Nolkus here from the Industrial Development Agency. Bill, as chairman, thank you. Jennifer Marr, as chairwoman of the rebranded Putnam County Chamber of Commerce, now known as the Putnam County Business Council, which is brilliant because now you have the Westchester Business Council working with the Putnam Business Council. I think it's a terrific idea, and I applaud you for that and wish you the best. All of these individuals who volunteer, by the way, their time, they're working very closely with the Putnam County local business owners. The Main Street economy drives our economy in Putnam County. So thank all of you. A primary scorecard factor is our fund balance. The National Government Finance Officers Association recommends that counties carry a minimum general fund unassigned fund balance of 2 months of general fund operating expenses, for which Putnam County equals $23.6 million. 2018, we ended the fiscal year with 23.8, so we are right there, perfectly situated. Our management, Moody's evaluates the institutional framework. They gave us an A. The operating history and operating revenues. In 2018, total operating expenditures equaled $151.6 million, while operating revenues equaled $157.1. Again, by increasing our unassigned fund balance, we met the GFOA recommendation. And our debt and our pensions, well, we've talked about this. 2012, when we took office, our debt was almost $90,000. Million, I'm sorry, I wish. $90 million. In 2018, we're down to about $71 million in long-term debt. That's a 21% reduction. Our short-term debt, $17 million, gone, eliminated. And our pension debt, $8.5 million, gone, eliminated. And thank you to our legislature for approving the additional $1.5 million to a capital reserve fund so that we don't have to go back and bond for capital project improvements in the county. Very wise, very conservative decision making. So what does AA2 mean? This is great. This great Moody's rating allows Putnam County to borrow at lower interest rates, saving taxpayer dollars, right? So the better your credit, the better your interest rates, if any, on your MasterCard, your car loans, your student loans, your mortgage. In October of 2018, I stood in this very room before the legislature and the taxpayers of this county, and I presented a budget for 2019 that met the needs of the county. Working with the legislature, we have always delivered a fiscally responsible budget on time. But, always that but we still face challenges as mandates are continually shifted to counties. Now, these are some of the legislative pieces that are up in Albany right now that will directly impact all of us as taxpayers. Election reform is an important act. It's going to allow more New Yorkers to have access to vote, but the financial burden should not fall to the municipalities and ultimately the county. That's not just my opinion. That's the opinion of the New York State Association of Counties, of which I served as president last year. History has proven that these unfunded mandates cost Putnam taxpayers directly. For example, HAVA has cost us millions of dollars. Now, Putnam County has paid the full share of this expense without chargeback to the local municipalities. That's partnership. And now we're being tasked with mandated election reform legislation. Providing extra 9 days to vote, there's no excuse absentee voting, same-day registration. It's going to require additional staffing and technical systems to prevent fraud. What's the fiscal impact going to be to us in Putnam County? We're guesstimating, but I think we took a good look at it. Kelly Primavera, working with our commissioner, and Kathy Croft. Cost to taxpayers will be, give or take, $230,000. That pretty much eats into our cap. Who's paying for it? I guess we are. We'll talk about another hot button issue up in Albany, the Internet Fairness and Conformity Act. If you've followed this, U.S. Supreme Court decision in South Dakota v. Wayfair allows states to collect sales taxes for out-of-state purchases. I believe this will create a level playing field between Main Street business sales and Internet sales. I support this legislation because it is fair to our Main Street businesses. Those are the people that employ our neighbors and sponsor our youth sports teams. They are paying their sales tax share. So should the other vendors across the nation. 2019 financial goals. We're going to submit a 2020 budget that will that falls within the Albany mandated tax cap. We're going to continue to improve our financial position by maintaining or increasing unassigned fund balance. And we're going to continue to identify and implement potential cost-saving measures, such as the consolidation of the 911 dispatch center with the sheriff dispatch center. Now, shared services. The sharing of services remains a true focal point, not only of the county, but of all of our municipalities. And we've been doing this since I was a legislator in 2008, and legislator Neil Sullivan was there, and legislator Ginny Nassarino is there, and legislator Scuchamara was there, and Supervisor Kenny Schmidt was at the table, and we've been talking about sharing services for many, many years now. We have drilled down to these two programs for 2019. That's the Plow Up, Plow Down, that's working with our local highway departments, which we work with hand in hand in emergency weather event situations anyway, and shared purchasings, which we're hoping to engage the school districts in as well, and BOCES. Our veterans. You think that veterans know what they're entitled to. You think that, but it's not always correct. Many, many, many of our veterans do not understand, do not know, are not educated to know, right, Carl Rohde and Art Hanley? How many times are you surprised that not only the veteran, but their spouses, their widows, do not understand what is available to them for their sacrifice and their service? Now, these are just some of the programs that a veteran is entitled to, and that's why it is so important that our Veteran Service Agency became a full-time department with 2 full-time directors. Putnam County remains committed to serving our veterans who are committed to serving us. As I said, we operate a full-time office, and as I said, thank you again to Carl and Art. And now they've pushed the bar even higher, and they're offering night hours to better serve our veterans. The Veterans Service Department in Putnam County, when I took office, basically did not exist. It was a color guard support system. We now have certified veteran service officers functioning day and now night to let our veterans know what benefits that they are entitled to and that are available to them. Did you know our county clerk's office offers the Return the Favor program? Where's our clerk? Michael Bartolotti. There he is, Michael and Jimmy. Wonderful program. So if you're a veteran, file your DD-214 at the county clerk's office. You'll know it's safe and secure, and you keep the original. And then they will provide you with a Putnam County Veteran ID card, which will allow you to take advantage of discounts offered by local merchants who take pride in our veterans. Thank you, Michael. As we say in Putnam, our veterans have left the battlefield, but some still battle. Putnam County's own private first-class Joseph P. Dwyer program has been incredibly successful. It brings veterans together in a secure, anonymous setting to help one another cope with the effects of post-traumatic stress, addiction, suicide prevention, traumatic brain injury, sometimes just somebody to talk to. John Borges, Megan Castellano, where's our team from Joseph P. Dwyer? What a great program. It has done so much for our veterans, so much. This program has helped many of our veterans, not only across New York State, not only in our county, but across New York State. But guess what? The governor eliminated the program and all the funding. $185,000. $185,000 eliminated this program. So we're asking each and every one of you to please contact your state representatives and let them know how you feel about the elimination of the Joseph P. Dwyer Vet-to-Vet program. Putnam County continues to operate our county veterans residence. Our residence houses up to 12 veterans and provides them with a private bedroom, a shared kitchen, and a common area. It provides them with so much more, though, so much more. This residence serves veterans who are either homeless or on the brink of homelessness. It saves lives. Our pilot program, Putnam Invest in Leaders of Tomorrow, building that succession plan, leaving the county for these kids who are highly trained, highly educated, have the spirit and the motivation to do better for their community, to be public servants. In 2019, we have over 75 applicants who are working to fit the candidates to the position openings. Our golf course, here we are. A premier event destination, which has proven to be a solid financial investment. But the tagline for 2018, if you're a golfer, you know what I'm going to say. W-E-T, wet, very wet, nationally wet. Top 10 of the record of the wettest years. So here's just an idea, an example of the rounds, how well we've been doing since we took on this course and redesigned and redeveloped with the help of our team here. We were peaking at almost 33,000 in 2016, but last summer's weather knocked us down to about 27,000. But that's okay, because diversification is very important, and we'll show you why. Because we knew right from the beginning, golf wasn't going to make us money or be sustainable. We had to do something else. And that's why we invested in the facility. And we've done so much here. We've done weddings, we've done concerts, we have the Friday night barbecues. We have business conferences here. That diversification keeps this facility and its budget sustainable. This keeps the bottom line green when the course turns wet. I did not write that, just so you know. I'm going to give that credit to Tom Lannon. And here's just an idea of some of the programs and some of the events that we're having here. The Murder Mystery Tour, people just can't stop talking about it. The Friday night barbecues have become historic here. And we have the new 9 Dine coming up. Golf will be here soon, everyone, Monday through Thursday for $39. We're doing some renovations downstairs. We're doing the long awaited men's bathroom. We did the ladies first for all the right reasons. And now we're tackling the men's room. There'll be a locker room. There'll be more bathrooms. We're going to try to expand on the bathroom so that the Friday night barbecues are a little bit more entertaining, we'll say. And we didn't forget about our golf course. Some of you guys who came to the marketplace, you saw our new golf carts. Our lease was up for our old golf carts, and thank goodness. So we now have the state-of-the-art golf cart with a GPS. And gentlemen, I'm sorry, she does not drive you around if you come. She's not your... there's a revenue stream opportunity here with the GPS system. We can offer you to advertise your businesses here. If you have a tournament here, you can put some of your charities or your organizations' highlights on the GPS system, just taking us up another notch in quality service that we offer here. If you do want to advertise, there is limited advertising spots available, and you can speak with Mike Bacall, our general manager. Or you can speak with our new pro. Where's Jari? Jari? This year we're proud to welcome Carmel High School graduate Jari Tempori as our new golf professional. Jari is returning home to Carmel, to Mahopac, after many years as a golf pro in Texas and Arkansas. And Jari's here tonight with his wife, Crystal, and he's home. Hi, Crystal. His daughter's enrolled in school today, and we're very, very excited. As you guys all recall, Jim Woods, who brought us here, was offered a tremendous opportunity, and, you know, man makes his plans and God laughs, and this is terrific that we have a hometown boy back here, and we're very excited about all the programs that Jari's going to offer us. Tilly Foster Farm and Educational Institute. Our friends from BOCES are here tonight to participate. And some of the outstanding programs that we've been offering at Tilly, we have the construction trades program, the culinary arts, some adult programs, summer camp, a lot of open house events. And coming soon, we're going to be offering animal care. BOCES will be offering animal care, God bless you, animal care and horticulture and hydroponics. And Catherine Ballesteri, who's the BOCES Director of Career and Technical Education, and myself, will be visiting all of the Putnam County school districts to discuss the great offerings available to Tilly Foster, to try to get more participation and let the public know what Tilly Foster can do for our students in their thoughts about building a career or choosing a career. So going back to our roots, as we said with Jari, we should have flipped those slides, Tom. We talk about roots. We headed to the soil and we planted and harvested crops on 1/3 of an acre this year. The harvest for 2018 provided 77 varieties of vegetables. As you know, we sold a lot of them to Tilly, but the majority of them went to our senior nutrition centers. It was such a success that this year we are expanding from 1/3 of an acre to 3/4 of an acre, and we're in the middle of constructing a greenhouse so we can start our seedlings now. Our farm hosts some of Putnam County's most memorable characters. It's open to the public 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 4. Tilly's table's open for special events. And it's open for dinner on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday brunch. We have a very special event. Joyce Bacone, Putnam Arts Council, is in the house tonight. And we've decided we're going to showcase some of our local art, which we do at the Tilly's table. We're going to expand it a little bit, the opportunity of awareness. And on April 17th, for 2 hours, come and enjoy hors d'oeuvres in a cash bar and see some of our local art and support our local artisans. Thank you, Joyce. And Shillelagh Law is coming back by popular demand Saturday, April 13th. Shillelagh Law will be here to kick off the spring season. And here's a big one. This is a big announcement. Pre-sale tickets tomorrow. Travis Tritt is coming to Putnam County. Isn't that crazy? Are you ready, cowboy? You got those boots on? You got that? Yeah? All right. We're also looking to clean out that barn, one of those barns we have there. So a lot of people have talked to us about these barn weddings and destination events. So we're going to go in there and clean out that barn. You've got a country wedding right in your backyard. So we're hoping to transform it into another opportunity for a destination location. Due to our great fiscal management, Putnam County is clearly set to take on the future. We're not going to settle for complacency. We are set to keep building on the accomplishments of the last 7 years. The Putnam Playbook has many chapters that are not finished, and we're not going to slow down. And we can't write the Putnam Playbook without the unfading support from our team. As I mentioned, the health providers, the career and the volunteer health providers. Of course, our legislature, the elected officials that we all serve with, our first responders, career and volunteer, to our department heads, and to our unions, and to all of our employees. We thank you all for your contribution for making this county the great county, the patriotic county of the Hudson Valley. Before we end tonight's presentation, we'd like to take a moment and remember a Putnam County resident who gave his life in service to this country. Mahopac native Chief Warrant Officer Michael Kozlowski was killed while on duty during an accident at the Coast Guard buoy facility in Homer, Alaska on January 31st, 2019. Chief Warrant Officer Kozlowski was 35 years old. He was a loving husband and father to 4 children. He served with the United States Coast Guard for 17 years, and he was assigned as the first lieutenant aboard the Coast Guard cutter Hickory. General Patton said, "It is foolish and wrong to mourn the men who died. Rather, we should thank God that such men lived." And a grateful Putnam County will show its respect to Chief Warrant Officer Kozlowski by dedicating flag number 424 in our row of honor this Memorial Day and Veterans Day and in perpetuity. Please support the Putnam County Row of Honor if you have any veteran, anyone special, to add to our beautiful display on Lake Oneida. There's the number you can call. So thank you. Thank you, everyone. What's the time? How'd we do? Hour? All right? 1 hour. Thank you.